This is the first time that they're seeing these recipes. They all come from Fernand Point's book. Again, you guys have 10 minutes for menu planning. We've got a clock in the back, a big clock that will give you that 10-minute countdown. In order to give everybody a little kind of biography of Chef Point, we have Dr. COSTURA, who's going to fill everybody in on that.
Good morning. I wanted to talk just a little bit about the life of Fernand Point, who inspired this competition. Reading his book is great because it's almost like having a conversation with him, and he's one of those people who it would be really fantastic to be able to sit down and talk to, not only about his food, but about his life.
This is the first time I've ever done anything like this before. Chef Nitahara was kind enough to think of me, and so I was amazed at just how friendly everyone was. You hear about competition and you think it's going to be really competitive and intense, and the competition was fierce for sure, but everyone is helping everyone out.
Well, we have just under 4 minutes left in the mise en place, which means time to frantically finish all of that last-minute cold prep and let the active cooking begin.
I always love cooking. Miss it every day. And then when you watch how other people think, all it does is broaden your horizons and gives you the opportunity to learn something from everybody. So watching timing and planning and like as we were saying, the last minute adjustments you have to make and how do you fight through it. You know, everybody has more tools in their toolbox now. So
what would you recommend to them? Put themselves out there?
you have to. Say yes to every experience you get an opportunity to. And that way, when you have the moment where somebody says, can you or would you always have more tools to draw on and then say, yeah, I do have the experience to at least come up with something that'll get me through. So always say yes.
I kept asking him, well, how can I make this better? How can I do this better? How can I learn? And he's mentioned a couple of times that he really appreciates that. Just that I try and take everything as a learning experience. And I think the hardest part was actually not having enough containers for everything. I mean, I'm using a pitcher to hold butter.
Okay, just want to let you know, 13 and a half minutes before the fish and mushrooms are up. Andy, how was your experience?
So I came into this competition as thinking I was the underdog because we are the pastry, and so we're 1/3 of this competition. But while doing the competition, I realized that we can do more than that. And I think this competition made me more confident in what I can do.
Learning to work with people like this when you have one thing of regular sugar and it's not there, one of the other teams has it, so you gotta go find it. And that happened with a bunch of ingredients, all of the directions. It wasn't one team had everything. It's just where's the saran wrap? We don't have saran wrap. Okay, we're using this. So it's fun.
So there's a lot of improvisation that has to take.
Speaking of rewards, so we have the scores for the cocktails. It was a very close run, but it turned out that Chef Nitahara's decision to leave the cocktail up to his commis was a good one. So he, his team, Sydney, got a score of 91 out of 100 for her cocktail.
Okay, 2 minutes, 39 seconds for it.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Woo, Chef Walnock's up in time.
I was happy to see crepes on the menu. That's just the first thing I had to say, because in order to come to the school, I had to do a competition. We were just doing crepes every morning. It was me and Maggie DeMarco. If you guys know Maggie, she's awesome. So her and I were just making crepes on crepes on crepes for 3 months every morning. So I saw crepes and I was like, yes, I know how to do crepes.
I would say similar for me with the crepes, actually. I have Point's book. I love it. I came to this competition last year and got the book very soon after. I just think he's a really stellar guy. I really liked. I'm glad that we used that. He took something humble and made it really great.
So while we're tabulating the scores, congratulations. Who's that?
It's a clean sweep with Team Nitahara.
Hey.
And Team Nitahara got 262 points.